What has Justin Trudeau said about your connections with the Islamic Republic of Iran?
I don't have any connection to Islamic Republic of Iran, and Prime Minister has repeatedly supported me in both my writing and in the unfortunate events that happened in the last 2 weeks.
And yet you're writing it's 11% Iranian. When I go out to the Persian community here, sir, they have nothing but bad things to say about you. Why is that?
Well, I don't know about that.
David Menzies for Rebel News here in Richmond Hill, Ontario. Well, folks, the hunt for Majid Jowhari continues. He is the Canadian MP for the riding of Richmond Hill who actually supports the Iranian regime. Don't take my word for it. Just look at his own tweets that congratulate this regime. In any event, when I go to his constituency office or his home, inevitably the police are called, but he's having his monthly coffee talk session here. So I think I'll come in and sit down with or without coffee and try to talk with Mr. Jowhari myself. And I wonder what the over-under line is in terms of the time in which his staff will once again call the police, because that's the way they do things at the Liberal Party of Canada. They like to shut down the debate, even using law enforcement if need be. In any event, I'm off to Hillcrest Mall. Let's see what happens. Oh, Mr. Jowhari, how you doing there? David Menzies. Yeah, just wondering, why do you support the Iranian regime, sir?
I do not, sir.
You don't answer.
I do not support the Iranian regime, sir.
Oh, is that what the mullahs in Tehran told you to say?
No, sir, that's what the truth is.
I'm sorry, I'm speaking to Mr. Jowhari right now.
And I am speaking to you, sir.
Why did you not attend the vigil for the victims in Richmond Hill last Friday, sir?
I was in another vigil in another event.
You were at another event. What would be more important than this event?
That was another vigil for a family.
You have tweeted your support. You have congratulated the regime on being an elected government.
No, I said the government was elected. I didn't say it was democratically elected.
Why have you had meetings with members of the Iranian parliament here in Canada?
At this point, sir, I'm not going to make any comment. I've asked you. This is an event for the community to come and get answers.
You are meeting with members of the greatest state sponsor of terrorism in the world in Canada. How is that possible, Mr. Jowhari?
Because they were legally here and they asked for a meeting, and meeting was awarded.
So why would you?
This event is being managed by us. And I would ask
okay,
you, please,
thank
if
you.
You would like to
Yeah.
speak to Mr. Mahat. You may please put your name, and we will put you on.
Yeah, you're the one that phoned the cops on me at.
All of the other
Yeah,
people
Mr. Jowhari, why do you hide behind the skirt of your assistant?
I do not hide. She's in charge of this event. We hold this event once every third week of per month, and people come here to ask questions, and they're here to ask questions.
Well, sir, the downing of the airline 752 is the biggest story in the world right now. 57 Canadians, something like 176 victims in total. You're telling him not to talk? He's a member of Parliament. Do you mind? Don't you think this is what could be more urgent than this story right now?
Coming here and listening to the people and addressing their concern, because that's what job is. And there are people here that they have issues, and this is what I'm trying to do right now.
Why is it that yeah, I know it's amazing, right? The free press that you're against, right?
Every other person who is here has the right to speak to Mr. Jowhari.
It'll just be a few minutes.
We are not. You will take your turn, just like everyone else.
Okay. Well, when I came to the constituency office, you called the police on me. So I'm sorry. This is where I'm gonna.
Here,
okay. Then.
because we have had.
There's like two people.
And they are waiting to speak to Mr. Jowhari.
Yeah, there's two people, so don't mind. Mr. Jowhari, in an Iranian language TV program last month, there was a journalist who claimed that you are on the payroll of the Iranian regime.
That's false. If they have any document, they should provide it to CSIS or RCMP or any official government body. I strongly suggest that.
There was the source of that information to that journalist was shot dead in Istanbul. How did that happen?
I don't know.
How is it that last October there were Liberal MPs and MPPs, ex-Liberal MPs and MPPs, that put out a mass email telling people in this riding not to vote for you?
You should ask them that question.
Well, they think.
Canada had confidence in me to represent them, and people voted, and now I'm sitting here as a member of parliament. Those questions should be asked to them, not me.
I'm saying your own tweets have supported.
That's a false allegation, sir.
Sir, this is being verified. Are you saying that people have hacked your Twitter account?
I'm not saying that people have hacked my account, but I'm saying what you're saying is not true.
Okay, then. So those tweets in which you congratulate the Iranian regime.
You're making that accusation. I did not congratulate the regime or
Mr.
the
Menzies,
government.
this gentleman.
Do they have valid?
To speak to Mr.
I'm sorry,
Jowhari.
sir. I won't be too much
No, you
longer.
will. You just barged in here. You have absolutely.
I'm in a shopping mall, ma'am.
No, you have no right to barge in. But this
Are
gentleman.
you going to call the cops again?
This gentleman is waiting to speak to the member of parliament. This is an event where we invite his constituents to come and speak to him. You have simply barged in rudely.
When you meet with members of the Iranian parliament in Canada, what are they saying? What are they telling you to do? Are they trying to get you to soften their reputation here in Canada?
No, they just wanted to know how the government, our government structure committees work, and what are the feedback from the Iranian community.
So why would you meet with members of a regime that is the largest state sponsor of terrorism in the world, sir?
Because they asked for a meeting, and it's my job to meet with everyone. I meet with a lot of appointees, a lot of representatives of various governments.
So if ISIS were to request a meeting of you, or the Taliban, you'd have no problem meeting with them too?
I will not meet with ISIS or Taliban, and I don't think they would be illegally. They would be legally in Canada for a meeting.
But the Iranian government is a backer financially of terrorist groups in the Middle East. You'll meet with them, though. I don't know what the difference is.
Those members were here legally, and they had visas to be here, and they were asked to meet, and I granted that meeting with the full knowledge of the department.
What has Justin Trudeau said about your connections with the Islamic Republic of Iran?
I don't have any connection to Islamic Republic of Iran, and Prime Minister has repeatedly supported me in both my writing and in the unfortunate events that happened in the last 2 weeks.
And yet you're writing it's 11% Iranian. When I go out to the Persian community here, sir, they have nothing but bad things to say about you. Why is that?
Well, I don't know about that. I know about the 11%. I think that's what you're saying is the fact. If you have those facts, you should present it, because the facts that I have is that most of them support the work that I've done. Most of them voted for me. If you have the facts that represent otherwise, please table it.
Hi there, sir.
Sorry, unfortunately, you've been asked to leave by security, so
Okay.
you have to leave.
All right, then. I'll respect that, sir.
Okay.
I just want to tell you.
Next time in the future,
Yep.
when you get asked to leave by security or anybody, you need to leave.
Okay, we were on our way out, actually, when you came. I just want to explain that this gentleman here is a Canadian MP who has ties to the Iranian regime, the same regime that is responsible for the death of 57 Canadians.
It doesn't matter, okay?
It doesn't. 57 dead Canadians doesn't matter.
Sir, I'm here to enforce that you're here after you've been asked to leave, so I need you to leave, please.
Okay. They're fair enough, but thank you, officer, for stating that the deaths of 57 Canadians does not matter.
That's why I'm here.
I know. Well, folks, another assignment, another call to the police to have me kicked off the premises. Funny how Canada's turned out, isn't it? Here I am trying to practice journalism, trying to ask some tough questions of a man who clearly supports the Iranian regime, the biggest state sponsor of terrorism in the world. And what happens? Well, the security gets called in, the police get called in, I get ejected from the mall. Majid Jowhari I think he would love living in Tehran in a position of authority. Don't you, folks? The idea that someone is expressing their freedom of expression or pursuing freedom of the press, that's not merely dealt with denial, and we saw a lot of that on camera, but shutting down those freedoms. So once again, sometimes I scratch my head. Am I in Toronto or Tehran right now? Hard to tell sometimes, isn't it? For the Rebel News, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Hey folks, have you heard? The Rebel News is going on a cruise. Go to rebelnewscruise.com, get all the details, and we hope to see you there come July.